Ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. It's time to see if he can do it again. The man who would willingly pick Japanese into Chinese and crush them is going to need to here. Starflock leads the series. You hop into Cliffside. And Miyamika is already looking to take advantage of the Dark Age Rax plays after the Japanese just received a buff to their Spearman play. The Raxes only cost 75 wood. This is kind of nuts, actually, against China as well, but it can make a lot of sense due to the fact they need to go for extra gold because they don't have a taxman with this build. It's the no IO build. But look at the reaction. Starflock, yeah, he scouted it straight away. This doesn't work because he knew it was coming. Let's get predictions up for game number 2 here. So Starflock versus Miyamika. Give you guys a minute on predictions because we're already at like a critical stage. This is cool though. This is the first Japanese game we're going to be seeing where this gets leveraged. Remember, they just changed them, so a few tweaks to Japanese. The blacksmith tech, so the early melee tech is cheaper. The daimyo effect, so you can get bannerman, is cheaper. The Raxes are now much cheaper. Admittedly, they did get nerfed on their fishing, but we're on a land map. And wow, he didn't even go with the spearman. He went with the samurai. But Starflock, wait, this isn't enough. Wait, Starflock, is he? No, you can't build a Barbican. A Barbican would be catastrophic here. So folks, if you build a Barbican, you still don't have an Imperial official, so you're just negative at that stage. He'd have to build a Barbican, gather the gold, and then go for either an Imperial official out of the TC, or then delay himself further and build an academy. Either way, Miyamika would have a huge edge, which I'm kind of baffled by, man. I think Starflock had the right idea sending out the extra gold workers. It's just kind of crazy he wasn't willing to take a little bit of damage to gather 35 gold. With 5 villages, it should not take you that long. I know the samurai, you know, they hit reasonably hard at 8 damage, but you have enough time with that play. That's crazy. So Miyamika with his signature Japanese, well, not signature, it feels like his rising star. Historically, Miyamika has the most games on Mongol and Juji, but he's recently, in the last like 2 or 3 weeks, been adding Japanese to his roster. It's been looking pretty solid. It's kind of a creative time frame, right? With the changes to Raxes, theoretically, feudal loan and Geisha became more viable. Now, I still stand by what I said, that I think the Japanese changes are overall enough. You know, they can't play water as well anymore, but now, like, you're trying to force them off of being a samurai civ into being an infantry civ. I just don't see the full advantage there yet. And there's the Barbican. Yeah, so he has to do the disastrous thing here. This is getting delayed quite a bit by the one samurai. It will go up, that's undeniable. You can't stop it indefinitely. But I think Mio has to be quite happy with what he's done here. Samurai will take a little bit of damage, able to get away though. And Kura's storehouse now on the way for Mio. And that is a horrible tiling position. We are not going to be seeing farms there at all. This is a civ matchup I want to see after the latest patch. Love to see Japanese versus Mongols. No, we've got Japanese versus Chinese. We're not going to see Japanese versus Mongols here. In theory, the Mongol one's intriguing, but like actually Japanese versus Chinese should still be really good for Chinese. Because although you can build extra Raxes, like let's say I know you're going to do that play, I open with an Imperial official, I build my own Rax, and then I have double Rax production. So to match me, you then have to spend 150 wood anyway, building a second Rax. So you see how like the dynamics are quite peculiar there. I gotta give him that. I'm impressed, man. That done a lot more than I thought it would. I do feel like a big chunk of that was Starflock just kind of making a mistake, not gathering the extra gold. It's crazy as well because he anticipated. I think that's the thing that like I can't get out of my head is he saw the play. There's no other reason you pull 5 to gold at the start. He scouted it perfectly. But then the reaction left a lot of room for questions here. What's your elo? Unranked. Ain't got time to grind ranked games, mate. We're busy doing 120 plus hours of casting each month. Can Japanese tower rush faster than Mongols now? No. And I'm not convinced men-at-arms rush will be good for them because the weird thing is, like, we've seen historically Mongol versus Japanese, there was a time where players would try and do samurai to counter spearmen. And the maths just didn't add up. In fairness, like that was back before the Rax buff, so maybe you can get enough now. But my feeling in general is like the samurai feel very weird against mass spearmen. The samurai are really good against like high base damage things. So like the Barbican shot, great. You can just deflect the entire shot. Against low damage, rapidly attacking units, that's where they're going to suffer. Thought I just came in, Miyamika, just actually looking for that fast castle timing. Wow, will you look at how much Japan has changed? Okay, hear me out. What if... I can't believe I'm going to say it. You're like, say it, KB, say it. Buddhist monks. I don't think I said it. But, in theory, Buddhist monks. They did just nerf floating gate, so it might be a bit more justified. If you can get to manage to get to Conqueror by watching top players, if you digest what they're doing, yeah. If you take lessons, if you're just sitting there eating popcorn with one hand while stroking your cat with the other, and then scrolling Twitter memes occasionally, then probably not. But if you're actually kind of digesting what they're doing and why they're doing, yeah. The next trick is like after all that watching, you have to make sure that you practice the muscle memory elements, is how I describe it. I think with RTSs, there's a very big instinctual part that is muscle memory, right? Like basic things that become instinctual behavior instead of conscious thought, such as cycling TC every 20 seconds or whatever, right? Checking on your scout, control groups, these things. Real Academy now coming in. So Starflock, he did still go for the pro scouts play. It's just feeling a little bit weird right now. Miyamika is going to keep it traditional, my friends. We have got a floating gate build on the way. 12 sheep to work with. What's the summary of the Japanese changes? We went over at the start of the video. You can check the VOD. We'll likely upload it at some point onto the YouTube side. All right, ones if you think Miyamika's going to win this. Twos if you think Starflock's going to take it. This game's a little bit funky because of the delayed timings, right? Like normally I'd actually just favor China here. But Starflock just feels so slow now. Miyamika does have the Imban Bannerman being prepped. Love that. Remember, you can build that knight in the feudal age. It'll also upgrade when you tech. And they only take 15 seconds to produce. So it's a very efficient timing window. Scout course isn't really going to be able to stop this over here, so Miyamika needs to start marching towards his win condition. We're likely looking at a rush towards the relics in conjunction with raids. You don't really want to try to stop the pro scouts play, you want to try and kill the villagers, but that can be tricky now that Starflock has set up the Barbican with the Fort Gold and everything else condensed. I actually love the walling here. He's trying to make it as hard as possible for troops to get in. I also love the fact he added in one juke. The reason one juke is good here is it allows you to get rid of the deflective armor, so that the hand cannon slits can deal real damage. Interesting choice. Okay, so that feels like a completely wasted spearman. Once they start memorizing all the keybinds and such, APM plays a big part as well. Yeah, but to that, I always hate when I just hear APM matters. APM matters, but meaningful APM matters. Anyone can drag their face across the keyboard and achieve 300 APM, right? So this is something that I'm having to retrain myself on with FPS shooting, because I used to be very good at FPS. I'm still decent. Because I used to play at like a hyper high sensitivity, I'm used to using high sensitivities. But that, like what I'm now doing is I'm overshooting all the time, because I'm going like this instead of smoothly aiming. Smooth aiming is much better. So that's an example of where going slower is going faster, right? Like, what was that saying? It's like an SAS and a Navy SEALs saying. I think it's smooth is fast. What they're talking about is like, if you do something correctly, it's much quicker than if you make a mistake. So with that in mind, I'd focus on actually making sure what you're doing is efficient and good, rather than just meaningless blunders. And, oh god, this is quite the blunder. Went out to 8 worker kills. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. That's the one. Thank you very much. There you go. Well, this might be a fast dismantling of Starflag. That's 9 worker kills. True villager economy difference is now 11. You heard me correctly there. Mio Micah is a mile ahead here. Relics are already looking to come home. He's already actually captured the sacred site, but the relic should be easily grabbable now. There's no threat to him on the map. Starflag, he's got 1 food income. That's how bad the harassment was there. Can you prove that dragging your face on your keyboard reaches 300 APM? Sorry, I don't have an APM counter. Also, we saved that piece for when we get a mouse and keyboard sponsor. Where we're like, wow, look at how accurate this... No, I'm going to save that. Starflag is heavily overgathered in gold now. He did at least pull away, but now you just feel really bad because obviously taxation adds into the problem where you just got too much of one, not enough of the other. Knight is going to go down. Another worker kill claimed. Mio probably looking at a flowing gate drop into the Daimyo mana next, I'd imagine. Right? Just inflate your TC production speed. And the first relics are already being dropped off at home. Honestly, this game, and it's crazy how it can be simply diluted down to that 1 point. But it really did matter because of the ripple effect of early mistakes. Starflag not gathering the extra 35 gold killed his game. What guaranteed it was when he chose to still go pro scouts on a heavy delay against fast castling Japanese. So like he made a critical error and he didn't adjust his build at all. He just tried to play it the same way that you always do with Chinese. But the timing difference matters so much here. The reason why China is so broken, same with Juji, is how quickly they get pro scouts. You delay yourself by an extra 2 minutes, you're not quick. You're actually slower than any civ in the game at that stage. Even English could be quicker. So, rough situation he now finds himself in. He's refusing to tap out. In fairness, he does have songs, so you have to remember, like, no damage feels permanent. But that's why I mentioned the Yorishira drop. If you just drop a Yorishira in the TC, you get song as well. So you can make sure you always stay ahead. Instead, though, we've got an attempt to kill with Ona Bagisha. That, to me, is a bit of a misread by Mio. The reason's this. I get that you want Bugeisha to kill the Spearman, but your opponent has Song Dynasty. Can you guys see where the problem comes? If you start spamming out Bugeisha and Starflag sees it, he already has the tools he needs to stop you. Juginu will destroy Bugeisha. Alright, be honest in chat though. We gave the explanation of why you can't just pro scouts the way you pro scout. How many of you would have still pro scout exactly how you pro scout though? It's okay, there's no shame in it. Be honest. We don't judge here. Much. It's just too tempting, you know? It's like being teleported into Tolkien's universe, Lord of the Rings universe, with all the foreknowledge about the ring, and you're still gonna pick it up, aren't you? Aren't you? You know? Wait, we have a housing issue. Oh no. He shift queued the woodworker. Okay, wait, no, it's worse than that. It's the villagers are all the way over there. He has at least built some additional houses. There was a little bit of a gap there, though. And the gap in terms of villages is shrinking, by the way. It's now only 7 between them. And Starflag, he did find the age up. Deer count is kind of insane, actually. There's still a lot of deer left on the map for 14 minutes, it feels like. There's, what, 1.5 deer stacks left? So a lot of denial here. At this stage, you can't really just march out and get them. There's mounted samurai everywhere. There's mass notification coming. And Starflag took the bait. The thing you don't want to be building here is crossbows. It makes sense why you build crossbows against mounted samurai, assuming samurai next. But we can see what me and Mike is really making this about. All the ladies. Ladies that pack quite the bloody punch. Remember, the whole thing with Ona Bagisha, they love targets that have little armor. And because they aren't armored themselves, the crossbows are going to struggle. Especially since crossbows just got nerfed, guys. Remember, their base damage got decreased by 1. They don't do as much damage to general units. It was shifted across to be more heavy-based. A good change, a necessary one in my opinion. I don't think Starflock even knows, by the way. No. It's only just been revealed. He just shooted in Vigisha here. Okay, so a bit crazy the way that the Miyamaka just revealed that for 2 spinman kills. That's not high value. We're going to have to see if Starflock really registered what happened, because for the time being, he's still building both things that get counted by Bugeisha. Late game with this new patch like mass springolds? We'll have to see. They did get buffed, right? It's possible because of the Elite Army Tactics change. I'm not crazy about that change. You'd think that it makes springolds worse. In some ways, it made springolds better because now you can just bulk springolds and use better arms and crap to defend them, right? Because they have 15% more health than they did before. The Geisha have been fully revealed. Starflock starting to queue up the Palace Guard now. But he's up against 5 relics, 3 sacred sites. It's a lot of value for Miyamaka. He never went for the Yorishiro drop in the TC. He has at least insulated himself with the farmhouses here, as well as the forge there. So just extra food to vomit out the Bugeisha. We're now at 57 of the ladies. Starflock, I mean, he doesn't have a hell of a lot of protection here. I think we're at the point of the dive. Here they come marching in. Starflock's going to try to stay away from this, but it's impossible. The movement speed difference is huge here. Bugeisha able to chase down. They're now diving onto the economy, and the villagers aren't reacting yet. Miyamaka, he's going to start slaying even more economy. No, wait, no, stop it. What was that? The sink shelter was way too late. And all of a sudden, the villager difference reappears. It's like someone duct taped samurai swords to both their arms and went swinging. And not only did they swing, they found the knockout blow. We are going to a 3rd game. And it all kicked off with that new Rax. What do you think, guys? Was it a buff? Was it a good enough one? Or was this just Miyamaka on another level?